What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Strength Solutions Podcast. We're on Apple and Spotify. You can rate and review us. Then check us out on YouTube. Leave a comment down below. Also, I'm going to take this moment, just stop for a sec. Subscribe. Okay, we're good. All right. Now, you're looking for a website. It's strengthsolutionspodcast.com. On there, we have free blogs, guides, and programs for purchase. Our email is strengthsolutionspodcast.com or at gmail.com. And if you're looking for a social media, Strength Solutions Podcast, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. And guess what? I'm Strength Solutions Edwin on Instagram.
I'm Strength Solutions Nathaniel on Instagram.
All right, dude.
Here we go.
We got a good topic.
Yeah.
So honestly, I wrote this topic before I told you about the thing yesterday.
Yeah.
And I really want to talk about how do you know you have a good trainer or to find a really good trainer. And so the person that I'm talking about is a very great trainer.
Yeah.
And has integrity. So my first thing is, does this person have integrity?
Yeah. We know this person personally.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Help the company. The company tries to sell this thing that he helped him with. Didn't sell it properly. Whole little thing. But if somebody has integrity, I think what it means is if they can't get you the answer, they'll find the answer.
Right.
But they'll be honest with you. And it's someone who's willing to do the research for you and not make up things and really have your best interest in heart. Right.
I think speaking the truth, you know, as this person did, there was an event that happened recently on social media with them. And that's what we're kind of talking about right now. We saw it. They spoke out against a company that they thought was doing something wrong that they had previously worked with, and just kind of made some comments, you know, which I, honestly agree with. And yeah, I think having that integrity, having the, how do we say it? The balls to speak the truth, I guess, about things, whether it's about yourself, holding yourself accountable, like you said, saying, hey, I don't know what this is, but I'll find out for you. Or when you're wrong, right? And saying I was wrong, you were right, or I should have done more research or whatever it is,
Yeah. Another thing I think is important when you're choosing a trainer is not go based off of looks. Go based off what they know and how they process the information for you. And so when you go off of looks, someone may be really disciplined and that's why they look great. They may have really great genetics and that's why they look great.
Yeah.
When someone's coached for someone for so long, you can really tell that they've had different types of people they've coached. Let me give you a perfect example. Somebody who may be a type A personality, I may give them macros and they're going to do really well. Here's a meal plan and they're going to follow it to the T. If I do it with somebody who is not in that position or it's not that big of a deal to get the best body in the world, I'm wasting their time. Maybe it's better to coach them on, hey, let's work on awareness. Let's work on just getting protein in each meal and slowly building themselves and they're less stressed. And so how someone handles stress too is completely different of like how you're going to coach them.
Yeah. I was just having a conversation with one of the trainers that I work with today about like certain gyms and stuff like that and how, she was saying she's gotten a lot of chances to work at other gyms in the past and things like that, but they just don't match the clientele that she has, right? Like it's like, hey, you train a lot of people who are older, right? Maybe who have injuries and stuff like that. You're not going to take them over to a powerlifting gym.
Bro, that's all we do.
It's just not going to match that kind of clientele that you have. I think it's really important to make sure. I was watching a video today, to my point, from a guy, his name is Big Ron Jones. And he was talking about how he sees a lot of trainers who are maybe on a lot of supplements,
performance
a lot of
enhancing.
Vitamins.
Just use the word performance enhancing.
Chicken and broccoli. And
with an injection.
And he was saying, I see a lot of people like this training their clients that same way. And he was like, these people don't have the ability to recover like that, but they only know how to train someone one way. They only know how to train themselves one way. And so therefore the client ends up suffering. we just had a special person on our podcast recently. If you guys go back and listen to this, because
it's already going to happen.
It's already happened.
Yeah.
When this podcast comes out.
You can say his name.
Yeah, we had fucking Smash Austin on here, and he was talking about his programming with us a little bit afterwards, right?
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about it on the podcast, but afterwards. And I took some of those ideas, and I've been trying to kind of like think about how to do it too. But I was like, you know what? I can't do 10 warm-up sets. I'm not him. You know what I mean? I can't work out like that. So I have to manage this in a way that will work for me, right? Maybe with the same concepts
for
and
your
ideas.
goals.
For my goals, right? Am I trying to be a strongman? No. You know, that's not a goal of mine. You know, it would be cool, but I also gotta, I gotta suck it up. I'm not 6 feet, so, and
I feel you.
yeah, it's a little sad. But just like that, I'm sure, let's say we gave him a client who was 70 years old, is he going to train him like a strong man? Probably not. You know what I mean? It's important to do this.
Yeah. I think something when you're looking for a trainer too is, someone who's going to become your friend, and they don't have to be like a best friend, but someone who can connect well with you, because you're less likely to listen if it's someone who annoys you.
Someone who annoys you, or someone you don't find genuine.
Yep. If you feel like they're fake.
I know that that would bother me. Like I was actually thinking about that today when I was working out with one of my clients. I was like, I'm telling him about the movie I saw this weekend, and he's telling me about his vacation he just had and his niece and all this stuff. We're going back and forth talking about our lives. And is it super, super deep conversation? Sometimes it's not, but we have the ability to just converse, and be genuine people and talk. And I think that's why, honestly, if I have to be completely honest, maybe I'm not the best trainer in the world, but I think 90% of my clients come back just because we like each other,
Honestly, I was talking to another trainer, owner of the gym that I'm at. And we literally talked about what type of trainer would you rather have, is one that's very intelligent or one that's a good talker. And I said, I can always teach the talker stuff about fitness, but I can't teach the intelligent person how to talk to people, because it's very hard to do.
That's so much harder. And I think that's something probably I can imagine both of us struggled with at some point. We're both a little maybe more introverted and stuff like that, but I've gotten really good at talking to people, and I think that that's a lot of this job.
And I love it when clients I got one sent recently to me about like economy stuff or housing and all that stuff. And they'll send me stuff and they want to talk to you outside of just fitness. Or send you it tells me they care about you as a trainer, but also tells them that they enjoy training. And so that's why they come back every time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm sure clients have invited you to parties or something special in their life. I've been invited to weddings and stuff like that. And I'm just like,
this week, right?
I got one this week. Yeah. For my first client ever. You know what I mean? That's like how far this has gone. And I think that it shows, like you said, that they like training, they like all this stuff, but also that there's this mutual appreciation for each other. Just simply as people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think that's another good thing to look for.
So I think let's move on to this topic.
Yeah.
Let's talk about weight loss and popular people. So apparently Lizzo has dropped 60 pounds.
Yeah. I think in about a year. I think
his body positivity.
Yeah. She dropped 60 pounds. And then here we also got our boy. His name is Avocado. I think that's how you say it. I always say it wrong. I don't know if it's Nikocado.
He lost 250 pounds.
Bro. And it's crazy because when he first started, he was a normal weight dude. He played fucking violin and shit like that. Like he was a nice guy. And then he did this whole YouTube thing, and gained a bunch of weight because all he did was eat food. but
that's what he did.
That's how he made his money. That's how he made his money. Yeah. But I think both of them have different kind of aspects of this. Reading the article about Lizzo, a lot of people were talking about how she's always been about body positivity and, hey, all this size 18 plus girls. And, if your stomach hangs or if your legs touch, just love yourself, blah, blah, blah. And then she said, it was a quote that she said, I was tired of being the butt of every joke. Right. So she didn't even heed her own advice. She didn't love. Well,
I think because deep down inside, we understand as humans, it is unhealthy.
Yeah.
Deep down, as much as we trick the mind to believe things, because there's things I've seen where this one person was talking about how if you don't like women, it's like not liking black people. And I was just like, what is like, you could make yourself believe
anything,
a lot of things, right?
And I don't want to come to the defense of this, but I wanted to come to the defense of like, of this idea. So Lizzo, I guess she changed her phrase. It's not body positivity anymore. It's body neutrality is what she was saying, which is another dumb thing where I'm just like, why do we have to give everything a fucking name? But anyway,
gaslighting me right now.
She was she was saying that like, you know, you should love yourself regardless and blah, 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 and whatever. And I'm like, okay, you can be body positive, right? Body positive doesn't mean that you have to stay the same way you are, right? You can love yourself and love yourself at the moment and still want better for yourself, right? Still want to lose weight or be healthier or whatever. But I think that, and I'm like, okay, if she did really go through maybe this mental transition of like, I was wrong. Maybe I do need to lose weight. Maybe everybody needs to lose weight. You know, maybe we can still love ourselves and whatever. I feel like we should encourage that. We should be okay with people changing their minds, right? And
it's okay to be honest that health does matter.
Yeah, yeah. Like, you know, if she came out and was like, you know, I was suffering from a lot of health conditions. It was damaging my mental health. I realized
my knees hurt.
Yeah, you know, I couldn't perform. You know, I realized that this is a better idea. You know, I do still think people should love themselves, but integrity, right? We just talked about that, right? And it's like, she didn't necessarily come out and say that. She didn't necessarily come out and not say that. But the article was kind of like flaming her a lot, which like I get because she's kind of proven that she's maybe not the nicest person. You know, but
according to documents,
according to anecdotal evidence. But you know, interesting nonetheless.
And Mr. Avocado himself, you saw the picture?
Yeah, dude, he lost a lot of weight, man.
But I wonder if he's gonna have other health issues because he didn't look like he.
I wonder how
he looked like he just dropped weight. It looked like if someone was on Ozempic and just dropped a bunch of weight or just didn't eat.
Yeah,
right?
Maybe that's what he did. I don't know. There was a couple.
There's not a lot of muscle on him.
He had done a lot of videos in the past, and then he like kind of disappeared.
Yes.
He came back in some interviews.
Did the girl passed away, right? That he did the videos with?
Oh, you know what? I think she did.
I think that was probably the changing point for him.
Maybe it was a moment where like he snapped, you know, and was like, what am I doing? But I had seen some videos with him that he had done sporadically, like on little interviews and stuff like that. And he was in the process of losing weight. His weight loss is a lot more, but also over a longer period of time. I would say almost probably like 3-5 years he lost that weight, which is still kind of a lot to lose in that amount of time, I would say. So maybe he did use medication. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll
see where he goes.
Yeah.
Speaking of avocado, dude, that avocado was as big as that cup you're
transition, drinking. Bro. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So this,
it's in Australia.
Gardener lady.
Gardener lady has like genetically modified and like breaded.
For years, apparently, like a fucking massive avocado.
The size of this cup. If you're on YouTube,
it has like the texture is more buttery. Oh, it's also resistant to oxidization, so it doesn't brown as fast. It can last longer.
Game changer,
bro. That thing's fucking huge, bro. And it's like,
bro, one makes a guacamole for a family of 12.
You know that avocado is going to cost $25, bro. You know I'm right. Dude, you can put so much cocaine in that thing. Oh, shit. That's what she was doing, bro. She's part of the cartel.
She's part of the cartel. The Australian cartel.
Oh, fuck.
Hi, mate. You want a kilo, mate?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, yeah. I'll take a kilo. Dang, dude. Oh, shoot.
That's funny.
Did you notice that me and you are aging slower than the Gen Zers?
I saw a little bit about this, man. The millennials, right, are not aging as quickly or visually, right? On the outside, they say they're not aging as quickly. They look younger. I've seen videos about this where they'll be like, why do people in the 90s look like they're super old? Yeah. You know, like they're in high school and they all look like they're fucking, you know, straight up adults and shit like that. And, you know, I think a lot about it and I'm like, I don't know, my mind goes to a lot of places. So I'm like, maybe the testosterone levels were higher back then. So maybe people like got to maturity quicker. Maybe there's, I don't know. We don't go aside as often, so maybe we don't get as many like free radicals that age. You know, I don't know what it is, but it was just.
So this is what I think. I think for before they had to grow up faster back then.
There was more adversity,
more like real work.
Yeah.
And then around the 2000s, that's when things started changing, kind of when we started growing up, right? And it became more sit at home desk, less stressful kind of thing. We knew about nutrition a little bit more. That was they were part of the ultra processed start of food.
Yeah.
And so they didn't know any better, right? And then we're kind of like figuring out. But I even think we have extremes in our generation, the millennials.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, like the Gen Zers, I feel like it's just micro stress after micro stress after micro stress all the time, because they think they need to be part of this thing. They need to be part of that thing. They need to take care of all the world's problems.
Like a manufactured stress.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I think we're like that period where it wasn't stressful. I mean, dude, if you listen to music that we listen to, Little John, East Side Boys, it was all party music.
Party hype.
Look how music changed into depressive. Like,
wow.
Right?
Wow. See, you're speaking to me in terms I understand.
And then music. And then in the 90s, it was still Fight the People, Get Back. Right around like 98, 99, it became, let's just have fun, enjoy life.
I like big butts. You know,
and I can't lie.
You other brothers can't deny. You know?
For real. You cannot deny. Are you to deny?
No, never.
So you sent me the most attractive hobbies to women and least attractive hobbies.
Least attractive hobbies. Uh-oh.
So I'm going to take a moment for you all to guess out there. What's the most attractive?
Let's say it. We'll give you a second. Think about the top 5 most attractive hobbies you can think of. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go for it. What are they?
So top 5. All right. So the number 5, very manly.
What is it?
Woodworking.
Oh, that is very manly.
Girl, I'll work you any day with my wood.
You know who worked with? Jesus.
So this goes back to like the animal instinct, right?
Yeah. Keep going, because I have some. I kind of formed an idea about a lot of these things.
Okay. The next one.
Number 4.
Get me on the grill cooking.
Yeah. How do you want your burger, baby?
You like it? You like it raw?
Oh yeah. a little moist in the middle.
Oh, shit. Canceled. Oh, this is the one, number 3.
What is it? I can't remember.
This is what makes your brother so attractive. Playing instruments.
Oh yeah! Wow, number 3. There you go.
There you go. Number 4.
No, number 2.
Oh, number 2. Sorry, backwards. Number 2. Speaking a foreign language.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
that's why they call me Papi.
That's the one word you know.
Papi.
That's like, damn. Fucking smoking hot, dude.
All right, and the last one, which I do all the time. This is why I'm probably the most attractive. Reading.
There you go. So this is the top 5. So reading, speaking a foreign language, playing an instrument, cooking, and woodworking. Right now, there's more. Right, the list kind of went on for a little bit.
There's writing, like painting,
gardening,
swimming.
And so I was thinking about it, and I was looking at all of them, and I was like, okay, what makes all of these attractive? Like, what is it for females that they're looking for in a man, or like the female gaze, whatever? These are the 2 sort of concepts that I came up with. They're both creative, and some of them are creative, and a lot of them are like productive. Something comes out of them.
Yes.
Right? There's knowledge that you're learning.
I was going to say intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Writing, reading, knowing a foreign language tells you that someone's willing to do 2 languages.
They're disciplined, right? If they have a trade like woodworking, right? Craftsmanship, gardening, all those things.
They physically care about themselves.
They provide something, right? They provide something. Now, let's move on to the 5 least attractive. Again, here's the second. Think. All right, go for
it. Number 1. This is why Nathaniel's
not. You're going to start at 1?
No, number 5. Sorry,
okay.
5. Nathaniel's not attractive. Anime.
Yeah, anime is there.
Number 4.
4.
MTG.
I don't know what that was. Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking no idea. I saw it too, and I was like, I don't know what.
Oh, that's
MTG
number
is.
6. Anime was number 6. Number 5 was MTG.
I don't know what it is.
Number 4.
MTG, right? MTG.
We'll learn about it later.
Fucking knows, yeah.
Number 4, drinking.
Okay.
Number 3, debating. Number 2, the first 2 are you, bro. Cosplay and comic books.
Cosplay and comic books. So I thought about these too, right? I sat and I was like, okay, what makes these unattractive? And I think that it's because they're purely like, I guess I could say leisure activities, social activities. Nothing comes from them. Right. If I go out drinking, what did I get done? Nothing really. Right. If I do cosplay, what did I get done? Nothing. Buy a bunch of comic books. Wow, that's a waste of money. What happens from it? Nothing. It's all purely just like, I don't want to say selfish, but just
makes men look lazy.
It's a leisure activity, right? It's something that you just do in your free time. And so I think that that's the 2 things that I'm looking at is like, one of them is productive. One of them provides. One of them shows intelligence, discipline. You're motivated. You're doing something for me. The other ones don't do anything except for the person themselves, right? Like if that person enjoys doing those things. There was other ones that aren't as weird on there, like what you said, like anime was number 6, right? Like watching, I kind of just group it in with like watching television, right? Like if you like, oh, you like TV, that's something there. Debating, oh, you're just fucking arguing all the time with, you know what I mean? Like I can see why I guess women would see these things and be like, oh, that's super unattractive.
So for any women out there, leave your most and least attractive right now in
the
comments.
Yeah, let's see. Hold on. I want to look up what MTG.
What is MTG?
What?
Mayor Taylor Green.
Was MTG?
MTG. I don't know what that is, dude. It's kind of.
Oh.
What is it?
Magic the Gathering. It's a card game like Pokemon. You know what? I agree with that. That's pretty bad. I'm just kidding. You know what wasn't on there that I was really surprised about? That didn't make it on either end. Playing video games.
It was on there.
It wasn't on there,
dude. I could have sworn it was. On there.
I literally checked it like a million times. Oh my god! Go look. I'm
gonna prove you wrong right now in front of everybody.
I gotta see.
Let's see. Video games number 1. Not kidding. I could have sworn it was on there. Gambling. No, it wasn't on there.
Yeah. See, I was like, how did that just miss it completely?
Yeah.
It's a neutral activity.
It's a neutral because more girls are getting into it.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Maybe that's why I don't see it as lazy.
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 Why are you lazy and get out gambling, bro?
Dude, it'd be interesting to get guys' perspective, what they think is attractive.
Yeah.
As well.
Where's that fucking list?
I can tell you for me, it's like the woodworking, the physical stuff, owning a business. It goes back to productivity.
Yeah.
To me, lazy is playing video games, cosplay, anime.
Yeah.
Like,
and I can see why. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I think it's across both. Right.
I get it.
So what do you feel like is the most attractive thing about women?
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, where's our fucking list?
Let's not get in trouble. Let's stop right there.
Yeah. How about boys? Let's have an argument in the comments, everybody.
Yeah. Let's go.
Free for all.
All right. So there was a study that found that women who start taking birth control as teenagers have 130% higher risk of developing depression symptoms within the first 2 years of use. This is compared to women who have never taken birth control pills. The risk of depression decreases as women continue to use the birth control pills, but it remains elevated even after they stop taking it.
Okay, so it's sort of like upon initial medication, the risk increases a lot.
So overall,
and then as time goes on, it sort of tapers down.
It tapers down, but it's still higher
than if you never took it. I mean, when you're taking something that's going to mess with your hormones and a natural bodily function, you know what I mean? So, and depression and a lot of things like that are, I won't even say most of the times, sometimes based off of just hormonal regulation, right? Yeah. Maybe sometimes it's situational. Sometimes people are just depressed based off their hormones. You know, they just can't regulate the same way.
Where I want to take it to is a step further. Like there's been trace amounts of birth control in our water supply and things like that. And we cannot think it doesn't affect everybody across the board.
Oh, sure.
Like men as well.
Yeah.
And we have lower testosterone than ever before with estrogens in the water and other aspects that are happening as well. This is what could be part of the mental health crisis, right? We blame one thing, stress, or the way we're living lifestyles, but everything is always multifaceted.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation with a young kid today about politics and how like they try to say this is going to solve the problem, this one thing, when each problem has a multifacet to it.
Yeah.
And I think we need to look into this because how much is the trace amounts affecting you and me as a man with our testosterone, and then making us more depressed, and then we come across as less quote unquote manly, and then we're not attractive as mates to these women.
Yeah, everybody's doing cosplay and shit.
Yeah. I'm just saying it could lead to other things.
I agree, because it kind of makes me think about what you just said.
YouTube, they said you're a woman. So.
Oh yeah, what'd that guy say? He was like, gay looks like it's for a girl. Did you see the comment that happened under it? Yeah. The guy who was like, that's such a closeted response. And I was like, thanks, bro.
He had your back.
He had my back, yeah. Whoever you are, you're the shit. No, but yeah, it made me go back to what you said earlier about like the music thing. You know what I mean? It's like, as time has gone on and these things have continued, like music has changed, it's got more depressive, it's got more sad, everybody's stressed out, everybody think, like all of these things are happening. And it makes sense if we see it at such a high level. When you're taking it directly, it would just kind of go to follow that it would affect you in some maybe micro level, right? If you're kind of dosing it very, very slowly for a longer period of time. And I mean, we even I won't say anything. We talked to somebody recently who said that they had low T, and I would have never thought that. You know what I mean? I was like, huh? Like, what are you talking about? And so, but I'm like, if it's affecting someone at that level,
that
right?
high level,
yeah, or it'll at a lower level or whatever. Like, I'm like, man, everybody must be suffering from this in some sort of way, right? And it just
those microplastics in your balls,
in my brain too.
You can put a lighter underneath me, and the plastic just melts.
Yeah, it's fucking. That's another good comparison. Yeah. If we're talking about how the microplastics are affecting everybody and causing all these problems, like, why wouldn't this also be
like it's multi, right? Like
you said,
people blame the aluminum in deodorant, but there's aluminum here, aluminum there. It's the micro dosing from all these aspects. It's not just one component.
Yep.
All right, study number 2. It's about longevity. 3 approaches with a reputation of slowing aging process have been proven to largely be ineffective. For the study, researchers developed a new method to measure aging, which accounts for the complexity of aging in organisms.
Yeah, which goes back to what you said. It's multifaceted, right?
Yeah, and so I think too, when people say, "Oh, do this to slow down your aging," we don't know anything,
and it's all anecdotal.
I'm just tired of those longevity people. Like, you do this, it's going to give you better longevity. Like, there's so many aspects. I mean, that lady who drank Dr. Pepper was like 100 years old.
Yeah. And it's funny too. So they tested 3 different things. It was like intermittent fasting, which I thought was weird,
because it's considered a longevity
diet.
Because it does autophagy.
They one that did. What did it do? It like messed with like rapamycin or something like that.
Rapamycin.
Yeah. Which is like something that ages you, right?
Resveratrol, I think, was the other one.
And then the last one was something like that. I can't remember all 3 of them.
It's the one that's in wine or whatever. Resveratrol.
The thing that I saw that was interesting is that they said a lot of the times when they measure longevity, it's more of kind of like a estimate, and they pretty much just base it off how many years you live, right? Like how long the lifespan, right? So it's like, oh, if someone lives 100, then have a longer longevity, right? And they kind of compare it. Well, they tested mice, right? And so they were saying that mice usually end up dying from disease or some sort of genetic thing that happens to them at some point as they age, right? And that's the way a lot of people die too. Rarely do people die of old age, right? They die of heart disease or cancer or Parkinson's, Alzheimer's,
broken hip.
You name it and it happens, right? And so they're saying that to measure longevity, it's less about how long someone lives and how long they live without those like diseases or conditions happening.
You know what's crazy though? You mentioned all those diseases. They're all different.
Yeah.
Or breaking your hip. That's a physical thing that you were just working. So it just shows you like it's multifaceted still, like at the end of the day.
Yeah, we fix heart disease. There's still 18 other things I could fucking die from.
Yep. You know? Damn, you stuck that down hard on the mic. All right. So did you know travel could be the best defense against aging?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I like what you said about it.
Forget about retina neck creams. Researchers have believed travel could be the best way to defy premature aging. An identified disciplinary study has applied theory of entropy of tourism to tourism, finding that travel could have positive health benefits, including slowing down the signs of aging.
It's funny how these two are kind of like
Pretty similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell how brilliant I am. How my brain works.
So first, let me say this. So entropy is what they kind of just have this concept of like the slow descent towards dying, essentially.
Yeah.
I can't really say it any other way. That's kind of the way it is. And so Edwin, we'll talk about it in our text messages, and we'll usually say something quick because we save it for the podcast. But he was like, I think that my idea is that as humans, we were meant to move. We were meant to travel. We were meant to move from different places, explore, adventure, search, things like that. Like that's part of humanity, essentially. Mm-hmm. And when you take that part away from it, it kind of like steals a part of your humanity, right? It steals a part of your wonder, your stress relief, finding these things to find joy in, essentially. And that made a lot of sense. I kind of agree with it too. I thought it was weird because they kind of categorized travel weirdly because I was assuming I didn't really like it. Because I guess we talk about travel as like, oh, I'm going to go take a vacation or whatever. But then they were also like traveling could be a hike or a walk or whatever. Which I agree to.
That's part of the simulating the moving to a new location.
Right. Yeah.
I'm seeing a new horizon. I'm seeing something different because you've even seen where there's like holes in people's eyes and and stuff like that. And I saw it today, and he was talking about like everybody's so nearsighted, like just going outside repairs the holes
because
being able to see from distance and strengthening the eyes.
If you're looking out, farther, you're literally increasing the distance you're looking at. But when you're inside, the farthest thing from you is your fucking TV. And what is that? Like 6 feet away? You know what I mean? And so it's like you're literally not using a function of your body. It's the same thing as exercising. You know what I mean? If someone's like, "Oh, I walk around my house all day," that's not the same shit as like going for a 2-mile walk. You know what I mean? It's just you're limiting your body.
Then I know they're talking about hiking and stuff like that, but I also think an important component of this was not just like seeking out new enjoyment, seeking out new things, but the fact that you are away from the micro stresses of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So like going hiking takes you away from your micro stress of your day-to-day life.
Yep.
All right, guys, before we go into the fitness questions, if you like what we're doing, please share, like, subscribe. We're on Apple and Spotify. You can rate and review us. Check us out on YouTube. Hit the, you just subscribed, right? Hit the like button.
I felt it.
You felt the it just like shocked me. If you're looking for a website, strengthsolutionspodcast.com. We got free blogs, free guides, and programs on there for purchase. Then if you're checking us out and want to give us a good fitness question, go to strengthsolutionspodcast@gmail.com. We'll answer them. If you want us to say your name, put your name in there and say you want your name to be said. Also, if you're looking for a place on social media, it's Strength Solutions Podcast on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. I'm Strength Solutions Edwin.
I'm Strength Solutions Nathaniel.
Okay. Question number 1. Does lifting weights really make women bulky?
Yes. You're fucked.
It's the only thing it does.
You're going to get jacked.
I really think when I was asked this question, I really think people don't understand like what bulky really means. What bulky means is you are building muscle, but you're not changing your body percent fat. And so what you're doing is you're building tissue underneath the fat, and that's what's going to make you look bulky. But let's say I gain 10 pounds of muscle and lose 10 pounds of fat. I'm going to look leaner.
Right.
And that's probably what you really want. So I think it's just you have too much body percent fat. That's what's going to give you more the bulk kind of.
Yeah. The thing is, I think that we should kind of specify is that the working out isn't what makes you look bulky. It's how you're eating that ends up making you look like that. The working out part is really only going to have beneficial results on the way that you look or feel or whatever. But if you're continuing to, as a lot of people say, eat like an asshole, right?
Eating an excess amount of calories.
And working out, are you going to put on muscle? Yeah, probably. But you're also going to put on a lot of fat. And at that point is where you're going to end up being like, oh, I shouldn't have worked out. Like, look at the way I look. It looked the way that I thought it was.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with the workout you're doing or lifting heavy or lifting light or powerlifting or looking like a bodybuilder. It has zero to do with that and all pretty much to do with how you're eating.
And I'm going to give people a thing because you got to accept your genetics. And I think that's a big part of it. I think when I was younger, I know like my parents put in my head all the time, like, oh, your waistline's like really high and you should have a small waist. I naturally will not go below a 30. Even I was like 147, 140. I could not be below a 30. They're like, but your dad was to 28. Like, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, at the time I didn't realize like our body shapes are all different. Yeah. It's okay for you to be a little wider here or there. Yeah. Celebrate your strengths, celebrate what you're really good at. Like I have really good legs. Someone was complimenting my quads while I was doing Cossack squats the other day. Yeah. You know, it's just, we all look different. It's okay. You know, don't worry about like looking bulky. Just be the best that you can be. Yeah. And that's what body positivity is about.
Yeah. Take that, Lizzo.
Question number 2. I have never worked out in my legs. In my life. I think that's what it probably meant. Where is a good place to start? Should I do 5 days a week?
Oh God, no, please don't do that.
So you could, right? You could technically do 5 days a week, 15 minutes per day.
Or maybe you walk 4 days a week or something like that. You know,
you got to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. I think
what can you do for forever should be the question.
It comes down less to how many days is a good time to work out. I think it's more about how many days can you work out. Mm-hmm. Right. That's the question we should ask. And also what you're qualifying as a workout. Like, you know, on our podcast, I think we talked about that.
Yeah, we did.
On the podcast with Austin, where he was like, he said the same thing. He was like, you know, I think sometimes we misconstrue working out, or, you know what I mean? What does that mean? You know, you could walk.
And I loved it when he said it.
Dude, me too. I was like, God damn it, you fucking badass. I was like, or he said, you could walk 5 days a week. You know what I mean? You could probably lose weight and get a lot out of that. I think it's super underrated. You know, I really think more people should be walking. And so that can count. You know, so if you want to walk 5 days a week, yeah, I think that's pretty possible. But even then, can you really walk 5 days a week? Do you have that kind of time?
Selling walking apps?
What do you mean?
On like TikTok, it's like, oh, join this walking app. You could lose so much weight. It's becoming a thing.
That's good. Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything.
It's a good place to start.
Yeah, definitely.
And then as you go and you keep on adding, and
maybe you change one of your walking days for a strength training day or whatever. But if we're talking about the gym, I would say like literally 1 to 2 days a week. If you've never worked out in your life, 1 to 2 days a week is perfect.
All right. Question number 3. We don't have a fourth question today, but does genetics really matter when it comes to fitness? I think a perfect example is the podcast.
We talked about that with him. I think it was after. It was after the podcast. Yeah, we kind of sat and talked. But yeah, we talked with Austin, and I was like, "Do you think genetics matter?" Because I mean, my boy's fucking huge. You know, am I ever going to be as big as him? No. You know,
but he even talked within the sport he is in.
He did. Yeah, because that's what I said. My question to him was like, "Hey, if I wanted to ever compete in strongman, am I just like fucked?" You know what I mean? Like, is there just no way that I could compete in strongman because I'm not 6'4", you know, 300 up? And he was like, no, there's categories, you know, there's classes. If you wanted to compete in a lower weight class, then yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? You don't have to be huge or anything like that. And I asked him, I was like, do you think genetics matter? Or do you think that it's like, you know, it's all about the hard work or whatever? And he was like, no, fucking yes, of course genetics matter. You know, like he was like, yeah, they definitely do. I think it's a combination, right? Like it's like the hard work, it's everything, right? But we're not going to sit here and also pretend like the genetics don't matter. I think what you said earlier is a good point where you just kind of accept what you have, you know, and take that for what it is.
So when I think about genetics, I think what makes people so hard for people to really be honest. And I love optimism, right? But sometimes you got to be a realist. And some people are just not intelligent. Their IQ is just not there, but they can make it up for something else.
Yeah.
Some people are just not that strong, but they can make it up somewhere else. Find out what you're good at. Understand your genetics. Understand your limitations and how you can make those limitations strengths, and how can you make your strengths even stronger.
I think everybody should have a goal of health, right? Everybody should work out. Everybody should do something, but that doesn't always mean your goal has to be being the fucking greatest.
There's just some people who are ripped up without eating Whataburger.
Yeah.
McDonald's.
God damn it.
I hate them.
But it's reality.
It's reality. All right. Guys, if you like what we're doing, please share, like, subscribe. We're on Apple, Spotify. You can rate and review us. Also, we're on YouTube. Check us out. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe right now. Then, if you're looking for a website, strengthsolutionspodcast.com. We have free blogs, free guides, and programs for purchase. Then, if you're looking for a place to email us future fitness questions, strengthsolutionspodcasts@gmail.com. Then, if you're looking for us on social media, Strength Solutions Podcast on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm Strength Solutions Edwin.
I'm Strength Solutions Nathaniel.